Hey everybody, welcome back to Immortals Inc. podcast. I am Carlos Robles, part owner of Immortals Inc., here to talk about some different things. Usually I have Nate Elwood with me, but we went off on a little tangent here. We're going to have something special due to Magic Horizons coming out. Sorry, my chair is all over the place. Tonight I'm going to be joined by Joe Werner.
Hey, how's it
just
going?
waves. Good thing. This is both audio and visual, Joe. But Joe Werner he's our Magic guy here. He's here to talk about Magic speculation. And give me a little. I know you wrote a pretty big book called Prospect Digest Handbook based on baseball stats, right? I'm sorry, I'm ignorant.
Yeah, no, that is exactly what it is, and that's kind of the approach that I take a lot with Magic. You know, it's kind of when it comes to baseball in the baseball world, numbers drive everything, and I try to take that approach when it comes to looking at cards and how prices will impact. New cards will impact prices and everything like that for the Magic game. So that's kind of the approach that I take with that.
No, that's cool. So we're gonna probably talk about some finance. Well, when you say finance, I guess the big thing is when people come in. I'll be honest. The bottom line is people come in to buy Magic. I always think they're going to make $1 million, or they think they're going to double their money or triple their money if they buy a box. So there's the people that buy the box to play the game, so they have all the cards, and then they use it for trade and everything like that. But then there's those guys who come in and just look for the money cards.
Yeah, you know, I think one thing people really kind of struggle with is Magic finance. It's kind of this fallacy, you know. Unless you're spending money and you're buying collections and you have to spend a lot of money to make money, that really doesn't happen. You talk about all these price spikes or whatever, and there's a lot of cards now. Leveler, for example, they spoiled a card, and I can't remember what card it is. It's one of the Planeswalkers. Oh, it's the new Jace card. They spoiled it, and you can exile your library, and if you exile your library, you win the game. So this Leveler card came out, and it was like a 40-cent card.
Mm-hmm.
People saw it, and what they do is they buy it out in hopes that the card actually becomes worth something, and then they can sell them away. And it went from like a 30, 40, 50-cent card to I think they're selling for like $9. But
Yeah.
the problem is you have to find someone to actually spend the $9 for them, you know, and that's the part where you can go ahead and buy, you know, a million different cards, a million cards of one type, and then it's finding someone to actually pay the price that's dictated online.
Yeah, that you want for it, because I don't see like we open some for the store, but we don't open them for like to open them just to sell them, because guys are always like, oh, you should just open up all your Magic and sell the singles. I'm like, well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't benefit us taking trades in, or buying a case or something like that, or two. I mean, we're not that big, but I'm sure the bigger places do that open up a massive amount. Maybe they recover their money, but we're not at that point, and I don't. That's a lot to spend on something, and I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing it, but I guess that's a business standpoint. But I'm talking about it. I guess we're here to talk about individuals and people, like the consumer.
Sure. No, I think you guys. I think what people they fail to realize is a store, any store in general. When you guys are taking in trades, you're paying a percentage of the price because you guys still have to make money on it.
Yeah.
And that's how you guys make money. But as individuals, you know, very rarely can we find a card, say it's a $10 card, and if you're paying 60 or 65% in store credit, you know, very rarely can we find as individuals that card for $6 and then turn around and sell it for $10. And I think that's what everybody's trying to do.
Yeah, and it's hard to, like, when you have the store, you have a place to come to go and do all that stuff. So it's like I can sit on stuff, or I can have a case full of it, and people come to me to buy it. When you're an individual, people don't come to you. You have to hunt it down, and then it becomes a buyer's market for you.
Sure. And I think one of the big things too is Magic's kind of at like its peak time right now. 5, 6, 10 years ago, when people were kind of, you know, they say that you never really quit the game. You just take long, extended breaks.
No, yeah, I know you don't.
So yeah,
I'm still on a break from the dark. So
showing your age. So when people were leaving the game, they were selling their collections, and because they were essentially just tired of playing Magic, they were selling them for close to pennies on a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, 5 years ago. and those cards then weren't worth what they are now. So now people realize it's kind of this big money card game, and everybody's in it to try to make money, and it doesn't happen.
No, okay, that's I try to tell people that it's here for the fun. Occasionally, you might get something cool, like there's occasionally you pull this $100 foil or something out of a pack, and yeah, you're gonna make that, but that's like gambling. It's like going to a casino and putting on, number 32 on the roulette table. Every once in a while you hit, but mostly you don't.
Yeah, and I think one of the things, people fail to realize is this is kind of like a living, breathing entity, and there's always things that are always morphing within the game that kind of make these cards more popular or these cards better and whatnot. And I think, with the Modern Horizon set coming out, they've kind of introduced, and they said, we are going to, for the first time, this is specifically, we're designing cards for the Modern format. And then what they're also doing is they've kind of spoiled, and they said, all right, so now what we're going to do is there's a lot of cards before 8th edition, because Modern's only from 8th edition on up.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually going to introduce those cards into the Modern card pool for the first time. And
from before 8th?
Before
I didn't know that. Yeah,
so
okay.
there's what I've been doing. I think when you guys first got your blog set up, I was writing some things, and I think about a year before Jace became Modern Legal, Jace the Mind Sculptor, I wrote an article for you guys saying, here's why it should be Modern Legal, and it's not nearly as good as what people think. And I finally decided to put my money where my mouth was, and I went around, and I think I picked up 8 or 12 copies of Jace whenever I found them.
What was the price when you bought them then?
About $65. $65. And this, you're talking over the course of like 12, 14 months. So I'd buy like one every month. And like SCG was running an end of year sale.
What's SCG?
Star City
Games. Okay.
Yeah. So they were running an end of year sale where they had like 20% off, and I picked up like 3 or 4 for under $50. And then Jace became Modern Legal, and all of a sudden the price doubled, or it was 2.5 times what I paid for it. And then I was able to make back I made back more than the money I spent in, but I was also able to kind of get the game to pay for itself because I kept 4 of those Jaces. So with this Modern Horizon set coming out.
But that was over a year, not to catch up, but that was
Correct.
over a year's time. That was over a year,
You're talking.
And that was like
year
research, and you have to look.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so with this Modern Horizon set coming out, I've always thought that Counterspell specifically, Counterspell was in the kind of the same, what I would call plateau or area of card that people are always afraid of it, but it's not going to break Modern in any way. Mana Leak is essentially a counterspell for the first 5-6 turns of the game until you get enough land out. So I think what I've been doing personally is for the last year and a half or so, I've been buying all the foil counterspells that I could find, like the Mercadian Mask, the 7th edition foil, the F&M promos.
And that's because Counterspell's not Modern Legal.
Correct.
Right
and
now.
I'm betting rather big on it, that it's going to be Modern
They're going to
Legal.
put it in there.
Yeah. And I think there's a plethora of cards that I think we're going to see introduced into Modern Horizons. Astral Slide. So they brought back Cycling 3 or 4 sets ago. I can't remember what set. Maybe it was a Moncat. They brought back Cycling, and everybody was kind of hoping Astral Slide was gonna be introduced into that. And it's a 3-drop enchantment. For those listening that aren't aware, it's like a 3-drop enchantment where every time you cycle, you can exile a creature. You exile target creature and then return it back to the battlefield. So there's a lot of enter the battlefield effects that could really impact the game. And people were hoping that card was going to get introduced into the Modern format via Standard. So what I did is I started buying all those when I heard Modern Horizons was going to come out. Excuse me. And then I went out in Innocent Blood, which is a 1-drop sorcery. It's black. Each player sacrifices a creature. So I went out and I just started those. I've been
Those
buying,
are cheap now.
Yeah,
those are cheap.
Like the original foils were like $7.
Yeah, the Astral Slide's not that much either, I don't think.
No, those were only when I first started buying them, literally like $3. And I think the lowest on TCG now is 25.
So what you got? Okay, so you got Counterspell. You're thinking Astral Slide, Innocent Blood.
Innocent Blood. There's some other ones that aren't as high of a likelihood, but because they're only $2 a card or whatever, I picked
But
up.
that's because you're looking at the whole. What you pay attention to what people are talking about, like to see. You're paying attention to what they've been doing, and then also the cards that would be good in my. I mean, you're doing a lot of research. I guess is what I'm getting at. It's not like something you can just show up and do. You.
Correct. Yeah, a lot of it is my own research and thought process behind it. You know, everybody's been clamoring for Counterspell, or everybody just assumes that it's now going to be reprinted in Modern Horizons. But like Astral Slide kind of seems like a auto include too, where it's not going to break the format, and it'll help maybe expand some new decks out, you know, and kind of create some more diversity in the format. Lightning Rift is another one. It's a card that it's a 2-drop red enchantment where every time you cycle, if you pay 1 or 2, it deals 2 damage to a target. I think that's the exact wording on it. That's another one. That one seems less or more risky to me, but it was $2, so I bought at the time. I think I bought 8 of them or whatever.
Yeah, and you're not talking like hundreds of cards. You know,
No.
you're talking like buying here. I mean, that's still an investment, you know, on something that may or may not go. And
Yeah, and
I mean,
I look at it as I make it.
It's a risk. Yeah.
Yeah, I make it a decent living, and any dime that I literally put in this game, I just assume it's a sunk cost. Like, I'm never gonna recoup it, so I never spend anything. You know, I never spend anything that I'm gonna look back and be like, oh, I really wish I wouldn't have spent that money.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. Is the regret. You know, the regret for buying boxes. You can't. Don't count your rent on buying a box. You know, it's a bad risk. If I see guys all day open packs because they want the risk, and that's fun for like $3 or $4 or whatever, or you know, whatever the cost is, or you know, $10-12 even. Hey, I'm gonna maybe get something cool, but don't invest thousands of dollars and hope.
How different is that from like lottery scratch offs?
Yeah. Oh no, it's not. It's not.
It's literally.
I mean, I don't do it, and I'm buying them from the company. You know, I'm buying them from a distributor. I don't do that. I'm like, oh, I only want so many, and you know, but we're not, like I said, we don't open them up for singles. You know, we get them aftermarket, and you know, I want to get you guys the packs and you know the boxes and whatever you guys want to do with it, but you know, do it to. I guess the point I got from that is it's hard. It's not easy to speculate. You know, just do your research. And don't expect to make money on it.
I actually think it's more of like it's a falsehood. It's a complete fallacy. You know, one of the things when the name escapes me. There was a card that everybody kind of speculated on that it would push Wheel of Fate, which is a Wheel of Fate card, into maybe perhaps seeing play in Modern. And I literally was like, I'll spend $4 or $5 on a card and see if it goes up and whatnot. So I bought 2 of them, and I bought them online on Friday. They literally arrived on Monday, and by Tuesday I had shipped them back out for $10 a piece. And that, you know, by the time you cancel out fees, what I do make $2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem like it, but I enjoy it, and that's one of the aspects that I enjoy.
That's why, you know, that's why I started the store, because I enjoy it. It's not to be rich, but you know, as long as I pay the bills. But you know, it's nice to put a couple bucks in your pocket. But
yeah, and it doesn't happen at all. And I hope my wife's not listening. It doesn't happen at all. But I try to get.
Yes, it does.
I try to get the game to pay for itself. You know, and by kind of speculating on cards, it doesn't happen. But it's kind of one of the aspects that I enjoy about the game.
Oh, that's cool. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in right there.
Yeah, yeah. And there's another perfect example. So when they spoiled the new Liliana Planeswalker a week ago, you know, everybody thought that it was going to push Liliana, the Planeswalker from the previous set. They thought it was going to make that card playable to 4-drop Planeswalker. And literally one of the big content creators on Magic just happened to tweet out, and I was on Twitter, he goes, I would be buying these older Planeswalkers right now, essentially go out and buy these because this might be a deck. And I just happened to see it at the time, and I bought 3 of them for $3 a piece, and now they're sitting at $12.
See, just
But
pay
again,
attention.
it's finding nobody's buying them at $12. You know what I mean?
No,
the price
yeah.
spikes, and then it kind of
Well,
drops down and levels off.
I could blame the sellers on that too. You know, trying to gouge something it's not. You know, that's we do all market. We just moved over at, in fact, in the store, we used to price our cards on the front. It was $1 or so. But now we do straight TCG mid or market. Sorry. Yeah. So you come in, you get it, and scan it. Whatever the market price, it goes up, it goes up, it goes down, it goes down. But
yeah, I mean,
sometimes I think some of those spikes are false.
They're 100% false. They're those are the ones. Like if you're not paying attention, the hour or two before it spikes, if you bought a few or if you had a few sitting around, they always tell you to sell into the spike. You know, there's when Thing in the Ice came out 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. When you cast, it comes in with 4 counters. Whenever you cast a 9-creature spell, it flips, and you return, I think, all non-horror cards to your hand or to their owner's hand. So everybody went out and started buying all these horror-type cards, and it pushed the price up from like $2 to like $8 or $10. And guess where it's back now? It's back probably down to $2 or whatever. You know.
Yeah, that's crazy. What do you think would be? How do you stop that? Or you just don't?
You don't.
It's just
you don't
players speculate. That's people. You don't jump into it right away. Like, oh my god, I got to get it.
Yeah, another perfect example. So they just they just introduced. It's a 3-drop legendary creature, feather something in the new.
It's for Modern Horizon.
No, this is actually in the new War of Sparks.
Oh.
So they just introduced this Boros 3-drop flying creature. Whenever you cast a instant or sorcery, it exiles and returns it back to your hand. And everybody went out and bought Aurelia's Fury. So Aurelia's Fury, when that card came out, I don't know, 6 years ago or so, my timeline might be a little off, 8 years, everybody thought it was going to be the next big thing, and it was a $40 mythic card, and it turned out it was not playable at all or not played much, and it ended up settling down to $2 or $3 now. The foil itself was $3 now, and I just happen to have one because I like the art. And now you look online, and the price, it went from $3 to $30 now. And I just checked.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah, nobody's buying them at $30.
No, it's crazy jumps like that.
Yeah.
It's almost like, how do I sell it? You can't.
That's why you sell it. You always want to be the seller into those spikes. And if you happen to have a card that spikes, get rid of it.
Yeah. Speaking of War of Spark, did you see that trailer or that movie or the promo movie?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
For the first time, what they did is they've always had kind of this, it almost looked low budget type animation.
Yeah, like nothing offensive.
With a card art and everything, just kind of animating the card art itself. But it was really kind of a spectacular thing.
That showed like, I watched them like, I played that game. What is that, Magic? Yeah. What?
And plus they had the Linkin Park song in the background.
Yeah.
So it was a good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that promo, it's Liliana and what's the song?
In the End. Linkin Park. Yeah.
Yeah, it's played against. It's very it's depressing. It's warlike. It's depressing. It's nobody's getting out. It's unhappy. It's not a happy ending, but man, makes you want to play Magic.
And it's something that I wish they were doing all along.
I know, and maybe I think that was smart on their part.
And hopefully it continues moving forward. They're trying to expand their esports recognition with Magic Arena and whatnot. And I think the more they have those type of trailers out there, the more people were thinking it was essentially. I saw plenty of people on Reddit actually saying, "Oh, I thought this was a computer game, not a card game." And they're like, "Well, you can actually play it on Arena." So.
Speaking of Arena, I just got a note. Are we supposed to put this out yet? Oh, sure. Okay, Josh is in charge.
Hey, I'm a pro. I can bring it all the way around.
All the way around. I just got to notice that on Friday, April 19th, Magic's going to be doing an MTG Arena promo. They will be giving out anybody. Sorry. They're going to have like little promo cards that they gave us with codes on it. And if you come to Friday Night Magic and you play in Friday Night Magic, you will be able to get one of these cards. You take it home and you get 3 booster packs. You get. Sorry, Joe. I'm reading.
Yeah, no, usually it is 3, and they've actually been doing this.
Three booster packs of Ravnica Allegiance on MTG Arena.
Yeah, and they actually been doing this quite frequently lately. With when they spoiled the War of Spark trailer. I think it was at PAX, one of the PAX East or West. PAX East.
What does PAX stand for? Not to sound dumb.
I have no idea.
Everybody keeps saying it like it's.
I don't know. It's this huge conference. That's
I
all
guess.
I
I
can
don't
tell
know. What is it, Josh?
you.
You're a
Bunch of
nerd.
nerdy people. Yeah.
Huh? PAX. Is it political? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
So they ended up spoiling. That's where the War of Sparks trailer came out, and what they were doing is they were kind of first introducing. That's kind of their first big push for Magic Arena. And so that what they did is they did release these promo codes where you can get alternate art, or they actually had like animated art cards for, I think it was like 5 or 6 cards, and I think it was 1 in each color, so maybe it was only 5, but it was cards that were kind of a lot were played, or they were frequently played in Arena. So, I think that's a great idea, and I think their hope, we were kind of talking before this, their hope was Arena will bring new people into the game on esports, and then that eventually transition over to paper.
I think you got two places like I think Josh thinks it's the other way, but I think it's your way. What you're saying, I think you get video gamers, you get people who play video game or casual. They're gonna drive it to the store because you go, oh, I can actually own this stuff. I can actually play with other people. I can sit down and have this and collect it. I think it will because you can only go so far with computer games. But that's my thought. Other people are like, oh, that's gonna take all the gamers away and.
So I think initially, I think it's going to bring in a lot more people into paper Magic.
Yeah.
Because, you can only essentially right now you can do 2 formats on there. You can draft, which is limited, or you can play standard. And the card pool is, as we were kind of talking about before, the card pool is so small. It's 5 or 6 sets right now. So I happen to enjoy Arena. Usually after my family goes to bed, I kind of sneak into my office and I'll play like a game or 2 before I head up to bed. And
blasphemy.
It does, super wild and crazy. And so, but it kind of gets boring because there's only so many standard decks that you can play, and there's the card pool is kind of small.
Yeah, I think it'd be good if they move it and keep it standard. Then they would move, those sets would drop off, but you might still want them, so you'd have to. Not have to, but you could go to your store and get the paper version of it and still play the way you want. And then modern, modern's like crazy. That's a huge card pull online too for modern.
Yeah, that'll never. I doubt
it'll ever come to Arena. To go back, I forgot to say something, but I think Modern Horizon, it's a good, and I've always said this, it's a good idea to bring old cards in or to increase cards. Mm-hmm. Like a quick spiel is like, what was that, Classic Magic or the one where it's old stuff like Vintage. All right. You're never going to get new players in that.
No, well, it's too expensive.
It's too expensive, and everybody who has stuff.
Your house and buy a deck.
You can't play that version. So then guys are like, well, we should play this. Well, you can't, because literally at this point you need somebody to either kick off or sell their collection or go from one point to another to get a new player.
Or you have to be older and actually own the cards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But even the old guys, there's a finite number of players, so they're never going to increase. The smart things they do with like Modern and everything is like, okay, these cards are worth this much money. These are, and I see it all the time. It's like, oh, this card's 20. Say just randomly it's $20. So if they release it, the price is going to crash. What I've seen is if they re-release another older card and a new set, that price goes down a little bit, but then it goes back up once people start playing it because it's a good card.
Sure.
And then sometimes the original card goes up more value than the other one because now everybody wants the original. It's going to be above whatever the new one is, the standard. But
so I have 2 trains of thought on that actually. So they actually have been introducing older cards via standard back into modern
and I like
eligible. There's Absorb and Opt. Those are 2 of the big ones that Opt sees all kinds of play in Modern. But also so you see a lot of times when they have these master sets, you have these big chase cards. So like Mana Crypt, for instance, that's a huge staple in Commander. And with that card in general, so it was re-released, it was reprinted in Eternal Masters. And I think it bottomed out at like $60 or $65. And
what card?
Mana Crypt.
Oh, yeah.
So it was originally like $100 card. They reprinted it. It bottomed out at $60. Now you go online, you buy them for $150.
Yeah.
So
See,
it's always this: the price is up here, the new card gets introduced, the new version. Prices bottom out usually about 2 months after the set comes out, and then it slowly starts its climb back
it's
up.
like a legitimate stock market. You gotta. And the thing is too, when you release new cards, more players can play. So then more players play, and then more people want it. So it's like I don't think people think that way. Oh, my card dropped. Give it a minute.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happens. Yeah,
Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf is another perfect example of that. And now Tarmogoyf's been printed, I don't know, 5-6 times, and now you can buy them for $40, and people are kind of panicking or whatever. That's another card. It's going to be a modern staple for
Modern.
not only the foreseeable future, but it's going to be modern playable for probably as long as Modern's around.
Yeah.
So yeah, the price, I think you can buy them now for $40 or so.
And
the original art still, all the original stuff always holds.
yeah,
its price
original stuff. Because it's original. You can. This is a fancy reprint or fancy redone or okay, fine. I want the original. Like guys like you and me would be like, well, I want the original, so I'm going to pay for it.
Yep. And what always holds its price is the original foil. Jace the Mind Sculptor, even though before it was modern legal, when I was buying the non-foils for 40, 50, 55, $60 or whatever, the original foil was $400, $500 or whatever. And guess where it's still at? $450.
I think we've had a few come through here, occasionally, and it's sad. Not sad, but I can remember the first time I got one of those. I'm like, well, I don't want to put that money out, and traded it or whatever we did. And I'm like, we'll never sell this. And in a week it was gone, for full price. Like that's when I learned when somebody wants something, they'll come in. There it is. As long as it's market price, everybody's cool with it,
And they don't go home and tell their significant other.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Well,
that's a proper thing to do, Joe.
I always tell my wife.
That's it. We're calling her. So, in case anybody, let me give a quick thing. But in case of modern Magic is 8th edition on up with a
Correct.
certain.
There's a ban list.
There's a ban list like anything else, but it's 8th on up. Mm-hmm. So it's a pretty huge pick of cards, and a lot of guys like playing it because you don't have to have Standard's very competitive. Standard's very. It can get pricey. I'm not gonna lie. Modern, not so much.
So modern is pricier, but the difference is
you could still play a modern deck, but that's not
correct.
expensive.
Unless something gets banned and they try to. I know Wizards always takes a lot of heat for it, and in my opinion, they're very judicious when they do any type of bannings. They try to salvage a deck, even if they have to ban something. So yeah, to get into modern, it is more expensive, but once you have that deck, you know what I mean? In Standard, it's constantly rotating. So in Modern, you have that deck. Literally, when I got into Modern 5 years ago, the first deck that I owned was Grixis Delver, and then it kind of went over to Splinter Twin, and Splinter Twin got banned. But I still had 90% of another deck, and I just
you can
transitioned
tweak
into
it.
Yeah.
And Wizards only bans things. I mean, people say, they could come up with all these conspiracies, but if you think about it, if you have a format and there's so many combinations, somebody's going to break it. I mean, you got a whole world fixing something to find it. If you get to the point where that's the only deck that wins, you have to ban it because or else it'll kill the format. And it's like, hey, sorry guys, it was fun. Good job when you came up with that deck, and kudos to you, but you broke it. That should be a compliment if you get a card banned.
And Wizards, what they've also done is so data is king in anything. The more data you have on anything, the better your decisions are in general. And Wizards was releasing quite a bit of data, and people were kind of learning how to break a format, Standard or Modern and whatnot. And they've kind of held a lot more of that data. They kind of cherry pick now the decks that they're releasing, and it's 5.0 decks, and they're not telling you how often a deck is winning competitively, like online. I know they get a lot of their data from online, like MTG online. So they're being really judicious on the information they're kind of doling out to everybody.
Yeah, it's a business. They got to stay in. They got to keep a business going. All right, Joe. Well, we're gonna have when's Modern Horizon release?
Modern Horizons comes out in the end of
June 14th, or don't quote me on the date, but right there.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Since there's a new, so far this is the prices I'm going to give you everybody. All right, packs are going to be $7.99 plus tax. Boxes are going to retail at $287.64 plus tax. If you pre-sale, we're going to give you the 15% off, but we still have to add tax. So in the retail, it's going to be $244.49, and after tax, it's $264.05. You're saving $20 off the box. I mean, and you, oh yeah, you still get our stars from the star program. You get the 20 stars, and then because they went away with Wizards. And I'm still debating why they did it or how they did it, or I think it's a good idea. It probably is, but they went away with the retail, their suggested retail, which was always my complaint, because I understand prices go up, inflation goes up, it costs them more. Stores were kind of getting squeezed because our prices were going up, but they weren't suggesting the retail go up, which kind of put us in a funny spot because.
And I think one of the things also that they did to help stores, local game shops, as you saw with the last Ultimate Masters set, where they started including these buy a box toppers or whatever, where they're essentially another pack of a pretty highly sought after card, and you got a chance to buy. You open up this one card pack, and it was anywhere from a 50 or 40 or $50 card on up.
And they do a lot of goods. I mean, it's a company. They need to keep in business, and they take the. I get it. I see guys complain, and not to go on a little tangent here, but I see guys complain or. Yeah, right. Here we go. I see guys complain and get upset, or they go, "Oh, Magic did this," or Wizards. I go, listen, they're a business. They're just trying to make ends meet. If they're going to help you as much as you can, but you have to make your effort. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Here's what we can do. Here you go. All right, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to see what I can do with it. If you can't, then you failed. I mean, I don't mean to be mean or nothing, but you can't blame that on somebody else.
Yeah, no, I think they're doing a lot now. I think they've taken a lot of steps recently.
Not to sound like a company man. I always get called a company man all the time, but I'm not. I just
but I
do the best you can.
Yeah, no, I do think they've taken quite a few steps recently to actually help more of the local game shops. Because I think when they removed, the suggested retail price, a lot of the kind of fear on
getting squeezed. Getting
you
squeezed.
Guys were getting squeezed, and then the big box stores online, they could come in and undercut you guys severely, and people were saying, well, why would you buy from a local game store when you can buy it for $20 or $30 cheaper online? But now they started introducing like these box toppers, which
buy a box program,
buy a box from your local game store, and you get this, and these are actually valuable, playable, $50, $100 cards or whatever.
Yeah, so they help out you can, and I appreciate it. And my example for that would be like all the time. We would try to tell them, they're like, no, you pay this. I like when people tell you pay this much for it. No, what? Like it's free apparently. I go to Target because we would sell them for $3.99 a pack. Go to Target, they're selling them for $4.29, $4.39 a pack. Target's a big business. They have a set amount of profit margin to make and everything like that. I go, so you have to ask yourself, why am I selling for $3.99 and they're selling for literally across the parking lot for more? So. There's a squeeze happening there, and I'm glad they got rid of. I would have liked it better if they would have said, okay, this is the retail, because then I could be okay, here you go. But this is good. I can work with this at least to say we don't have one. Just go with it. And I think, and I was telling Joshua, like, I think too, it helps international sales. I don't know why, because I'm not smart enough to figure that out. But for whatever reason, I have this thought that for whatever reason it helps worldwide prices. So I don't know. Go figure it out. Somebody smarter than me has to do that.
I mean, it is kind of capitalism at its finest.
Yeah,
they're hoping that
love it.
They're hoping. Say you have 5 game stores all in an area. What's the point of one game store charging $1 more? Say it's $4.99 a pack when you can travel 2 minutes down the road and you can buy it. For $3.99.
It's capitalism. It's whatever you got to do, and sometimes it's just better. Like that's like our store here. That's my motto is here. Clean, friendly. Nice, I don't want, I want you to be happy I want you to give me your money because you want to, not because you feel that you have to.
Well, look, I know we're going to be wrapping up here.
So you got money on you, Joe?
I do. But what I was going to say, I first started playing Magic all the way back in like revised edition, 94, 95, around there, and I played for 2 years or so. And me and my buddies, we would play it all the time for 2 straight summers. We would literally sit on their porch, and we were either playing a sport or we were playing Magic, and that was it. And as we kind of went into high school, we all kind of drifted away from the game, and we took that break where everybody says you never quit, you just take a break. And I happened literally just to be in Target, and I had just started dating my wife, and we were just standing in an aisle, and I go, man, Magic, I used to really love playing that game. And she goes, oh, you should think about playing it again or whatever. And
her mistake. No,
yeah,
I'm kidding.
yeah. and so I wasn't aware where Immortals was at. I didn't realize it was in such close proximity. So I kind of wandered around the area, in the general area, and Immortals was the place that I ended up because of the environment and because, the people not only at the store playing, but also, you guys behind the counter. It is by far and away, for me, the best place to go.
No, thanks, Joe.
And I say that unbiasedly.
Unbiasedly. As we hold you against your will. No, I'm kidding. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Joe. You're going to come in a little more often
Sure.
and talk a little bit more about this. Because I like this. This is good to get this out here, because I was trying to this is a good way to tell what I've been trying to tell. We've all been trying to tell people.
Sure.
It's a format, we can do that. And then I think we were getting you to maybe do some more in-response play on our little online. Yeah, we can do that for streaming. So we'll get you on there too. If you guys want to check us out or talk to us, you can go to immortalsinc.com, because we're fancy now. We have our own. Immortalsinc.com. Go to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all the good nonsense. Huh?
Instagram.
It's Instagram, Immortals Inc. Just type it in. We'll pop right up. Call us at the store, 216-712-7169. Ask for Josh. He handles all incoming calls. He just rolled his eyes at me. So, yeah. And remember, I got a note here. Water is not free.
No, I already paid for it.
Okay.
I already paid for it.
Okay. There's a note in joke here, but water's not free.
Nancy actually charged me twice.
Did she?
No,
Yeah, we
I'm
gotta make up. We gotta make up all them losses. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. See you next time.